Okay, boys and girls, so the next step is we have to put on our eyes. I showed you a little bit of an eye, but let's see if you can review it. Remember what to do? We're going to take this eye, and I'm going to first decide where I want it. Now, because this is a lion, I'm going to tilt my eyes to make him look a little bit mean. There we go. But it doesn't have to be. It could be straight if you want it. So here I go. I'm going to decide where I want it, and then I'm going to put those, what are they called? Cross hatches. There we go. I'm putting those cross hatches in. See? Yuck. And then I'm also going to put it on the inside. And remember, it's called scoring, but a lot of kids call them cross hatches. There we go. Somebody called it a hashtag. So here I'm taking my finger, one finger, not my whole hand or else it'll get too wet, putting enough that it goes into those nooks and crannies. Here I go, and you can see it really well there. Do you see that? Yeah, really. There it is. See it? Ah, okay. So once I have that, I'm going to arrange it on, and I can bend it as I'm working. You see? Pretty cool. Whoops, there I go. I fell. There we are. Now, so I'm going to tilt this a little bit, and I'm going to bend it a little bit, and I'm going to press. And you see these little bubbles that came out? I don't know if you can see them, but I can see them. Oh, there's bubbles all down here. It acts like a vacuum when I press it, and it pushes down all that, all those little score marks that I have. Now I'm going to take my clay tool, and I'm going to, here we go. I'm going to now weld it together. Welding means put it together, connect it so you can't see where it came from. Now see, you don't see where it's come from. And now I'm going to take my fingers and I'm just going to round out those edges. I'm not pressing firm so that my eye flattens. That would be really wrong. There we go. It's nice and smooth. And then I'm going to do my second one. So here I go. Remember, hashtags, somebody called them, but it's really called scoring if you talk to a ceramic artist. That's a person who makes things out of clay. Take my water, put dots and dots and dots of water on it. I'm not wiping, I'm putting dots and dots. Doing the same thing here, making sure, and you'll be able to see it from the reflection of light in our room. And I'm going to gently peel that paper off. And now I'm going to look straight down on it. And my head might be in the way, but I'm going to look and try to get them the same amount. I'm going to press down. You can see those little bubbles. I see them. There they are. And now I'm going to take my clay tool. Somebody said, can I use a tool other than the stick? Yes, but don't make it so big a stick that you can't maneuver and do what you want to with your beautiful animal that you're making. Now, I'm going to round that out. Remember, I'm trying to make them look the same. So when I do, I have to look straight at them. Okay, I take some water just to smooth off some things. I think I like that. It's looking good. Now I'm going to start putting some design, decoration in the eyes, some features. So here's my picture. See the eyes? So I'm going to try to do that. Now, I'm going to do the black part with a paint. But here I go. I'm going to make that line of an eyelid, because even animals have eyelids, for heaven's sakes. You get dust in their eyes if they did it. I'm going to put a big circle here. I'm going to put a big circle there, and I'm trying to get them the same size as best as I can. And then last but not least, I'm going to take the back end of this stick. Here's the back end. Okay, see, it's the round part, not the pointy. Not the pointy. And I'm going to press down. And when I press down in, I'm actually pushing up and down, because this is a cat, and they often have that black, long type pupil. So here I go, pushing it all the way through, and that should actually connect that eye to the rest of the face. Now, here I go. I'm going to start making this a little bit smaller so you can see the rest. Here it is. I'm going to now put on the rest of the features, the snout it's called. And you can see how sharp it is on the sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to smooth that out. There we go, nice and smooth. And I'm just going to lay it down. Now, if you want yours to pop out a little bit, you can once you figure out where it goes. Now, right now, it looks like a duck. How funny. But it won't when I'm all done because I'm going to draw those extra things to make it look cool. Alrighty, so I know where it's going to go. Some people even put a little line, just a little line so they know where things are. And now I'm going to draw these little lines. Now, don't dig into it hard, but put those little lines. If you get a lot of clay on your stick, you can always remove it. There I go. And I can always add more as I go. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Lines, 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 lines. Not digging right through. I'm holding it with the palm of my hand. Those score marks. There we go. Now, this is a lot of clay to place on here, so I'm going to put enough water. I'm going to use 3 fingers this time, but not so much that it's so wet that I can't work with it. So I pat it. Here I am patting, getting that water in all those grooves. All right, there I go. Now gently, and if you need a teacher to help you, you can always ask. I start actually connecting with its nose. Okay, I actually push a little bit of this in between the eyes because even animals have a forehead. And I'm going to use a clay tool that's a little thicker to connect it. There I go. I think that's well connected. Now I'm going to look at this, and I think this part I want down further because this part's going to be the bottom of my mouth. And I'm going to make these jowls puffy. Here I go. I'm going to take my fingers. I'm going to push them. Ooh, now they're a little puffy, aren't they? Now I'm going to start welding it, connecting it together. So here I go. I'm going to start connecting over here, putting it together. I'm using a clay tool. And, you know, you can't really go wrong. You can always add more clay if you need. And down here, I'm going to connect it too. Now, you probably notice I've got some empty spaces. Do you see that? And here's an empty space. I could actually put my finger in. That's kind of good because that way, if you have that, it creates a bump and there's an opening in case there is any air bubbles when it goes into the kiln. Maybe you've used a microwave before. When you go into a microwave, and if you don't put a little poke a hole in a potato, it pops. So it's kind of like that as well. So here I go. I'm going to start making my nose. Now I'm cleaning off my stick, and I'm going to make my nose about the size of my thumb. And I'm just drawing it lightly first. Looking straight down on it. And you don't have to make the same nose as me. You can make yours different. This one I kind of stretched out the mouth. You could do that too. I think I'm going to put my mouth a little bit different. I'm going to put it this way.